Hi, this is John Ondo from Marketing, Media, and Cupcakes. And before we get into today's episode, I just want to say thank you so much for listening. We're back after being gone for over 4.5 years. And I hope you get a chance to listen to episode 77, where we explain why we were gone for so long and that we're back for at least 3 more episodes. Angel and I are big supporters of entrepreneurship, and we love small businesses and faith-based businesses. And we just want to encourage you through our podcast each week. What's going to determine if we continue with more episodes will be the response. Subscribe to us on your platform. Send us an email at john@ondomedia.com. That would help us know you're listening and you want more episodes. So thank you so much, and let's get into today's episode.
Don't say you don't post pictures of yourself or that you don't. Because you post a crap ton of pictures of yourself.
I do post a lot of pictures of myself.
Okay, there we go.
But I do it because of work. I don't do it because I think I look amazing.
I'm just saying, you started off saying, I don't like taking pictures of myself.
Well, I don't.
And both Lori and I went,
I can't get a good picture of anything. Well, welcome to our little family debate, Lori.
This is the small business podcast that is sweeter than all the rest. Marketing, media, and cupcakes.
So this is episode 35 of Marketing, Media, and Cupcakes. I am John Ondo, and with me is my lovely wife, Angel.
Hi there.
So she has a customer service background, 25 plus years. She knows everything about customer service, and she has a cupcake business.
Yes, I do.
And I have a media company called Ondo Media, and we also have a podcast production company. And between that and the marketing, we are Marketing, Media, and Cupcakes.
Yes, we are.
I always like letting people know. We're so glad you joined us. If you're a new listener, please subscribe and follow us on Instagram and Facebook. And, I love photography.
I know you do.
And I also love all my classmates from my high school.
Yes, you do.
Well, there's a couple of them maybe, but most of them I like.
This is true.
But so with us today, and this is kind of fun because she's our second Elida High School alumni.
I know, it's madness.
I know. Christy Lingo, who we had on several weeks ago from
Fabulous.
the Cocktails and Containers, she's an Elida grad. But Lori is actually from my class.
Whee!
She knows all the dirt on me. So
I don't know about that.
Well, you probably do.
She might have photos, though. We don't know.
Well, she would, probably, because she's a photographer. So Lori Tester is our guest today.
Yay!
And we are going to talk about with Lori the process she went through, the journey she went through as a photographer. She was doing incredible work, and then she stopped for about a decade, wasn't it?
Yes.
And then you got back in, and you're doing, I would say, bigger and better things than ever in the past.
Oh, thank you.
Well, would you say that?
I think my business has taken off really well. It's exciting.
So she's doing a new business with photography. It's different than the old one. We want to talk about that because sometimes you do have to reinvent yourself.
Yep.
And she has on top of that 5 tips we're going to talk about today to how to make your small business do better, and especially in the areas of social media and with photography and so forth. So we're going to have a lot of fun today talking about all this.
I'm excited. I'm excited about it because we've talked about fear for the last few episodes.
And unfortunately, fear is part of what she's had to deal with too.
Fear is still here.
Oh, that was nice. You rhymed that.
Oh, my goodness. Green eggs and ham. Yes, I am. Or all this stuff. Okay, never mind.
But I totally had to put myself out there. And that totally lines up with fear, because putting myself out there is not anything I want to do. But once I put myself out there, my business flourished.
Isn't that amazing? Tell me about the first part of your story. You started off as I can even remember you in high school. You always had a camera with you. At least I can remember that, or I'm hallucinating. But I thought there was always a camera around you. Maybe again, it was.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was.
She's like, I am not claiming any of that.
Wow. But you got into, like a lot of people did, wedding photography. And for those of you who are under the age of, let's go with 35, there used to be an era when photography could only really be done by photographers. You had little cameras, but if you wanted to get a wedding photo or something else, there was not 500 other photos in the chapel. There was a wedding photographer with lights and film. And it was just as today, it's a big gig, but it was a little different than it is now. Tell me about, I guess, part one of your business that started off, and we'll get into where it's ended up, many years later.
So my first job was at JCPenney Portrait Studio.
Get out!
Almost, I know.
My first job was Lazarus Portrait Studios. Right? I was the person making the calls. I wasn't taking the pictures.
Right.
So tell me the worst child story you had at the portrait studio.
The worst child at the portrait studio. I don't know if it was the worst child, but it was maybe the worst family. It was a snowstorm, and they came up and they had left their kids in their car. And
Oh, my word.
I know. It's crazy. So anyway.
The parents took a photo and the kids were in the car.
Well, they wanted to know how long the wait was. And when there was no wait, then they went to the car to get their kids, and they came back.
Oh, back in the day when you could leave your kids
When you
in the
could do
car.
that, you know,
Yeah.
Okay.
in the mall parking lot.
So no kids threw up on the little carpet thing or
No.
anything like that.
No.
Well, you must have been gifted for
Yeah.
photography, because I always hear these horror stories all the time about the J.C. Penney's photography studio.
Oh, well, you know, I probably have more horror stories from my life as a wedding photographer.
Well, let's get into that then,
Like-
because that's why people ask me all the time. Still, I get calls on the media. Do you do weddings? Absolutely
No.
not. I would rather defuse a landmine in Afghanistan than do a wedding.
That's pretty serious.
So anyway, continue, Lori. Tell me how this evolved.
Well, I did weddings for 15 years.
So, Lori, tell me the
it
worst
just-
wedding photos that you've ever had.
I had a grandmother's hair catch on fire. So I had to.
You got to tell me more about that.
I was like, I was hitting her in the head. You can't see me right now, but I'm making this this motion of hitting someone in the head. And I'm
How
like,
did her-
I am so sorry that I'm hitting you in the head, but your hair is on fire.
From a candelabra or something?
Yeah, she went too close to the candelabra.
Oh,
God love her.
And the Aquanet
yeah,
just
she was
took
fine.
off. Wow.
She was fine, but
Wow.
yeah, it was kind of a funny
You could
story.
have got a picture of it, though.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
well, okay.
So, no, there's lots of good wedding stories you can only imagine. So,
Tell me a little bit more about what you loved about it.
what I loved about it was what an honor to be a part of somebody's life for that day and to document that, because the flowers die, the dress is hanging somewhere or passed on, and
Yep.
you know, really that's, other than your marriage, that's what you have left is your photographs. So hire the professional and spend the money on the photographer, because that is your forever keepsake.
Yeah, I would have to agree.
So go big with that.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. I mean,
You know, people talk about the mother of the bride or the band or the DJ. The photographer is the quarterback of the wedding. Nothing happens at a wedding without the photographer. It's always, we need these photos, we need to get this thing done or whatever. The photographer runs the show. And that's what most people, and so I say, you're not paying for just the pictures. You're paying for somebody who knows, I need this shot, we got to do this then. So you did the wedding photography. It was going well. What happened?
I did get out after a period of time. We became foster parents. Life kind of got busy, and I started kind of seeing an uglier side of people. I think that people had always told me, oh, you're really cheap, but you're really as good as that person. And then as soon as I started making the wage that I rightfully should have been making, then, I don't know, people just got ugly, and it just
People
it
feel
just
like
wasn't worth it anymore.
Well, people
just
feel like
gonna say
they
that.
they can demand more because they're paying more, and not really. You're paying for my expertise, your expertise in the photography business, and let us do what you've paid us to do and get out of your hair.
Yes, and wedding photography is easily a 40-hour week. It's, more than just that Saturday. It's
for sure.
You're paying somebody for an entire week.
You just shut it down and moved on to other things, didn't you?
Definitely. Shut it down. I ended up getting a full-time job doing something completely not photography related, and really loved what I was doing. Got laid off after 9 years and decided to get the Nikon back out.
there you go.
But the Nikon doesn't work like it used to.
It doesn't. Now it's digital.
It's digital. So you're getting back into the business, into photography, but did you want to get back into weddings, or did you want to try to find something new?
I knew that I did not want to do weddings. I had experience with sports photography and seniors and, really a whole lot of realms of photography. But the market just seems so saturated. And I still almost feel when somebody says, what do you do? And I say, I'm a photographer. I almost like roll my eyes and because I'm like, you can throw a rock and hit 10 photographers. I mean, everybody is a photographer. So
Anybody with an iPhone now thinks they're a photographer.
Yeah, I really didn't, know how it would stick. I'm in a town that's not my native hometown anymore, so I didn't know how it would go. But the transition from film to digital was, there's a lot of similarities and there's a lot of differences, and
In a lot of ways, it's more work than the old days.
It is. I mean, I used to have a a dark room in my basement.
Wow.
now I have, Photoshop. So,
Do you feel there's more expectations put on you now because people know? Before it was like kind of the shot was the shot, and you could do what you could do. I'm sure how you developed the photo, but now it's okay. Make me look 30 years younger. Shave 10 pounds off.
That's true.
If my makeup looks like crap, can you make sure that my makeup looks good? Do you find people have more expectations than what you were used to?
I do have a lot of people who will say, especially in large group shots, that will say, "Oh, that's okay. Lori can Photoshop them in."
Right?
And Lori ends up Photoshopping them in.
So what's kind of cool out of this is you used to do wedding photography, you got out of it, you had a 9-year, 10-year break. What you have done, have taken it to a whole nother level up in Northwest Ohio where you're at. It's a heavy, for those of you who don't know the area, since I know the area, there's not big sports teams up there. It's all high school, middle school, and everybody's kids in a team, and everybody's playing soccer and football and basketball. And you've created a great business out of this with your photography that is probably even more fun than the weddings, I bet.
Oh, totally. I just love these kids. It's, I didn't think that I would like so much taking pictures of the younger kids. But I just love it. I have fallen in love with these kids. And now that I've taken these groups for, 3 and 4 years and watching them grow and seeing them grow as athletes, I know them. And when they come to get their photo taken by me, they're like, "Oh, hey," so they know me and they give me a high five. And it's a lot of fun. I love taking these group sports photos.
So did it start from your own kids, or how did this begin out that you started like taking it from I'm just going to take just pictures of my own kids or whatever to I'm going to start, selling these things?
Here's where the business part comes in is there was a gap. There was a gap in this town that nobody was happy with the easy button that the coaches and the league coordinators were choosing. They'd been doing it all the time, year after year, just the same, and people just weren't happy. And when I started hearing about people not being happy, and I'm like, "Oh, I can do that." So as soon as one team took a chance on me, my business just took off.
Wow.
You were doing action shots of baseball, football, and so forth, but that was part of the business, and it still is. But then you kind of took it up a notch, because I know I've dealt with this with our kids, the sports banners, the individual cards and stuff. Tell me a little bit about what this grew into.
This has grown into a lot of banner work and a lot of custom posters that, are personal to the kids.
Oh, cool.
It can be a posed shot with some action going on in the background. And you can see some of this on my Facebook or my Instagram. That's just, it's got their name on it, and it's exciting, and there's smoke and fire and, all that fun stuff. And the kids love it, and the parents love it. And it's just really fun.
It just makes them feel like a superstar.
Absolutely.
For that one moment, they are LeBron James.
Yeah.
They are, that quarterback who's a quarterback leaves my name right now.
I
I was going to say Terry Bradshaw, but wow. That's a long time ago.
Well, no, everybody will just realize sports because you dug back to the 70s.
I went way back. I was trying to think of the guy everybody hates, but I didn't want to bring him
There's
up.
a lot of those, especially here in Ohio.
Depends on who you talk to.
Yeah.
This is true.
So how did this evolve? Because I know for you, and this is the fun part of this story, is you taught yourself a lot of this new stuff that you hadn't dealt with before. If you've been in the industry, you just kind of transition to it's really easy, but you've been out of it for 10 years and probably to the point where like, I don't want to see this anymore. How was that for you to go back in and say, I'm going to learn a whole new world and invest in this? And
I wanted to pull my hair out. That's for sure. Photoshop was not easy to learn. I just want to go from here to the end. I want to know how to do it.
You had the vision, though. You knew what you wanted to get,
Absolutely.
Which is cool. So Lori, because of her success now with her business, has got 5 points she wants to bring into today's show. So if you're a small business owner, you're thinking about getting into small business, or you have a story like hers, maybe you did something in the past. Maybe you used to make cupcakes and you want to get back into it. She's got 5 points that we're going to go through on how she's made her business successful. The first one you talk about is post.
Just be present in your social media. I try to post during busy season, especially. I try to post every day. People like to see the photographs that I've been taking.
You're doing Facebook, I'm assuming, and Instagram.
Facebook, Instagram.
Have you played with Snapchat at all?
I have not played with Snapchat.
Okay.
You know,
it's a younger audience.
and
So
TikTok, I have no idea.
Don't
what
waste
that
your
is.
time.
no, if you want to talk to my
Sorry.
daughter about TikTok, then that's the app you want to be at. But
No, I don't know.
It's
So-
not the place for professionals.
what
in
about
my
Pinterest?
opinion.
Is Pinterest a thing at all for you?
You know, I need to get more into Pinterest than I am because, I hear
Yeah,
that
there's
that's a good
tons,
place to be.
tons and tons of photos. I mean, like somebody has a photo, a shot, a way it was lined up. It doesn't have to be they want you. They just like what you did, and they'll save it, they'll pin it, and then they'll be like, "Hey, people, make
Well,
this
Yes.
my picture. Make it look
yeah,
like this."
I have a Pinterest. I'm not utilizing it the way that I
Gotcha.
that I need to.
I have
that need to be
7,000
for
recipes
sure.
that I'll never make. That I have pinned for sure.
When I hear business people on podcasts talk about, I have this and I have this on Facebook and I have a team of people working on this, God bless them. That I wish I could be that way. But for most of us doing the hustle, there's always something that all of us would say, I wish I was doing Pinterest. I wish I was posting more to my Facebook and LinkedIn, which is a big deal for me.
Right.
And so don't feel bad. I think all of us wish we were doing more. The question is, I think, if you keep saying that after 6 or 7 months, then you're not fixing the problem. I think at some point you have to say, if I want to post on LinkedIn, then daggone it, you're going to have to work an extra hour or something and get it done. So
Yeah, and getting yourself out there. You need to get yourself out there. So posting what you're doing, take pictures of what you're doing. I try very hard to post something every day. I'm not always successful at that, but I would like to post every day, especially when I'm in busy season. Right now, it's a little bit slower. January, February, March are a little slow until spring sports pick up.
Sure.
But so I at least want to be out there a couple of times a week. And I saw this amazing thing when I'm very insecure. I'm an introvert. I I don't like to talk about myself. So when I was hearing all of these bigger names talking about put yourself out there, you need photos of yourself, I'm like, oh, no way. I don't want to do that. Let me tell you the amazing thing that happened when I did that. My business just completely took off. I had another photographer friend take some pictures of me, and I put pictures of myself out there. I sprinkled those in occasionally and wrote a story,
Right.
kind of, more personal about myself. And it just took off. People, those are the posts that people like and share. And
what was the story you posted? Was it about how you were in photography? Was it just like your vision for these photos with the sports, or how did you share that?
it's different. It's just kind of different things. I tend to, wake up first thing in the morning and have something on my mind. And when I have something on my mind early in the morning, then I have to write it down.
And I was so excited when I started seeing those photos of you pop up, because it does, let's just go back to the beginning of our podcast when we said, well, J.C. Penney's or Lazarus, if you're older like me, those photography studios, they're just, when you say J.C. Penney Photography Studios, no offense, but you see the picture. It's the kid on the block of carpet and a backdrop or something. And maybe they've gotten better, but probably not. But that's the brand. It's generic mass production.
You know what you're going to get.
Exactly. But when I see Lori and your brand, you can tell it's creative. It's a person with flair, and that's the brand. And I think it is important. And I know both Angel and I are much like you. I don't like taking pictures of myself, but I do it. Oh, you're looking at me funny. I take pictures of myself because
It's like you post more pictures of yourself
I do my memes.
No.
And you know why?
I think he kind of likes pictures of himself.
I think, well, I'm just saying from a person who is trying to make sure people know who he is, he posts
I have
a
learned
number of pictures of himself.
I've learned to like it because
Yes.
I do know they get results.
I'm not saying it's a
It's
bad
true.
thing. I was
Okay.
simply saying, don't say you don't post pictures of yourself
I
or
do
that you
post-
don't.
I
Because you
do.
post a crap ton of
I
pictures
do
of yourself.
post a lot of pictures of myself.
Okay, there we go.
But I do it because of work. I don't do it because I think I look amazing.
Yes. I just
I
know
al-
crying.
I also think I'm very funny, so I do my memes with the little thing.
Yes, that
and
I've
those
seen.
get great results.
They do. I'm
But-
just saying, you started off saying, I don't like taking pictures of myself.
Well, I don't.
and both Lori and I went,
I can't get a good picture of anything. Well, welcome to our little family debate, Lori. But the point of it is, your brand.
yes.
Your
You
brand
are the
needs
brand.
something. I
Yes.
don't want to be JCPenney's portrait studio.
No,
I
you do
want to
not.
be Ondo Media. She wants to be Lori Tester.
Yes.
You want to be Angel's Custom Cupcakes.
And I don't need my picture taken.
Yes, you do.
Yes, you. Yes, you
But
do.
he always seems to take it from an up angle, so my double chins are out. And
I should have brought my-
I'm never ever made up when I'm cooking or baking. Like literally, there is no. It's get up, hair up, apron on
But
in
that's
the
real.
kitchen.
But that's
It's
real,
real
and it's okay.
scary
I
for
tried-
people.
Lori, you're
It's
barking up a tree
real.
here that I tried to. It won't work.
He's gonna have to do some shaving
all
or
I can,
something.
All I can do is do what I always do with her, and I just say we're going to have to stage something. You're going to have to make yourself
Yes.
up, and we'll have to stage the cupcake and all that.
Yes,
And it's fake, but you have to do it.
100%.
Well, I would like to do my staging with Cindy Crawford, just so you know,
Well.
so I get it, you know. But this is perfect though, because it's, you know, that's what we all deal with putting pictures of ourselves out there. I mean, look, that got so heated.
But the point of what we're getting back to on all this is it is a brand.
Yes.
You do buy things from people, and you watch a million people on baking things.
Yes.
And you know their faces, you know how they are. And so what Lori's doing here, I think, just is perfect because it shows that it's a person, and people always want to work with people versus mindless blank corporation kind of names. So
I would agree.
Absolutely. You want to do business with somebody that you feel like you know. So, and that's, where the story comes in too, because, you're not putting this picture of yourself out there because you like selfies of yourself, and you're not putting this picture of yourself out there because you've got some big, huge ego. You're telling a story of something that's going on with you and why you love what you do.
Right.
And people buy, and I don't want to say buy into it because I love the people that I work with. I'm not,
But no, I like what you just said because maybe that would change because I always take pictures of what I make, but never a picture of myself with what I've made.
right.
And maybe if I started putting more of I am proud of what I've made versus just this is the thing that I
You have to. You're going to love
Maybe
it.
then
There you go.
I'd
You're going
have
to
a
be
little
great.
bit more-
This will be next week's show. This is the plan.
Yeah.
So you have a weekend.
I really saw a big difference. And I also run a little shop local St. Mary's page too, because small business is also big on my heart. So for these small businesses, when I take pictures of the shop owner and they all shrug every time, they're like, no, I don't want this.
Yep.
I take a picture of them with their business. They get likes and shares and,
Yes.
and people call them for business.
Yep.
It's so important. So do it.
Post was your
Post.
first one. Then you talked about tell the audience about yourself, and then take steps to go further with it, which is what you've been doing. And then it kind of blends into what we talk about having professional photographs taken. And it is it's always good to have a selfie on the run. I think those are improv kind of slice of life, but it is good to have professional photos taken of whatever it is you do. What are some examples maybe of for small businesses that you've taken, and maybe where they think of, I'll just put a headshot on, but getting them in that setting?
Right. They need to be in their environment. If it's a clothing store owner, it's their clothing store is in their background. I did a pet groomer. So we had, everybody loves seeing, cute little puppies. And,
Of course. They sell everything.
Absolutely. So it's you doing your thing.
Okay, John,
And then,
we need a photo shoot next week.
The next thing you mentioned is be a part, and this is something I need to get back into, be a part of at least one local business organization. Why do you say that?
I say that because networking is so important. And, getting together with like-minded people is, you learn something every time. And with my personality, I dread it every time. I just do. And, and that's me being honest. And I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings, but I just, it's like, oh man.
Gotta go talk to a
go.
bunch of strangers.
I'm always glad that I go. Always glad that I go. I get business from it. We bounce ideas off of each other. We we all want to see our community prosper,
Neat.
so it takes everybody working together to make that happen. So being a part of a community organization really is a very good idea.
Very cool.
And the last point, and I remember this, I still do this today, but I did it a lot in those early days when Ondo Media was brand new and I didn't have clients, is volunteering. Tell me why you make your last point 5 volunteer.
Well, I think giving back is also very important. So, like I'm a sports photographer, so, the kids like to see me in a concession stand, or, coming up, and they see me in other areas too. With the sports teams that I do, when I do their posed pictures, I do offer to come and take some action photos for them as well. And, so even stuff like that is, volunteer. And, so go help at the fish fry or go help at the Summerfest, whatever.
Yeah.
Just be out there, wear your t-shirt and go.
Pick up an ad in the sports program or something like that where it's, it's really not. I've never gotten a single call from the 5. I don't know how much money I've spent, a couple $1,000s in play programs and sports programs at different schools. No one's ever called me on those, but I'm really glad to help them do what they do. And, getting my logo in there is nice, but it's not really what I do it for. I want them to know we support them. So real quick, let me review these 5 points we just gone over. Number 1 is post. Number 2, tell your audience about yourself and take it a step further. That's that story part that Lori's been mentioning. Number 3, have professional photographs taken. And that's a big one because you need that with social media. Number 4, be a part of at least one local business organization. And number 5, volunteer. And I think these are all fabulous tips that Lori has. How can people find out, see these more of the photos and learn about you?
Well, the name of my company is 8, EIGHT, and Company. So you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and LinkedIn. The website is Lori, Lori, Tester, TESTR.com.
It's something when you can know the story. And I know when I started seeing you, I knew you had gotten out of photography for a while and were frustrated. And when I saw you get back in and I saw what you were doing, it was like, yay. It's like, like a phoenix reborn. I was
Thanks.
I was just, because you have to do what you love. And, I've tried a few times to do the things that maybe will make more money, but I won't like it, but I just can't do it. I really love doing what I love. You love doing what you love as well. And so we encourage, that's the whole reason Marketing, Media, and Cupcakes is here. We want to encourage you to live the dream. We want you to have fun doing what you want to do. And if you're someone who's like, I'm in a small business, but I'm frustrated, let us encourage you. And if you're somebody who's like going, as you've said, wanting to drive your car off the side of a road, going to work because you don't want to go to work there, let us encourage you. Maybe you need to start a small business of your own.
Yes.
On the side, even just to start to bring some sanity to your life.
Yes.
So that's why we are here. So
Yes.
we are a service of Premier Podcasts for world-class podcast production, premierpodcast.com with the extra E. And we thank you, Lori, for being with us today.
Yes, thank
And-
you.
Thank you, and I look forward to seeing your pictures next time.
Whee!
Hey, and continue to live the dream.
Connect with John and Angel via Facebook and Instagram and let us know your thoughts. Marketing, Media, and Cupcakes is a production of Ondo Media.